Hello everyone, welcome back. Jinro finally able to remove the rest of those zealots from that base. Observer still overhead, and now LiquidNazgul getting up an expansion of his own, running off of two nexuses, and now getting a, is that a fourth gateway? No, a secondary robotics facility. So gonna try to mass more immortals, and perhaps getting some additional gateways would be useful as well. Taking a look over here, LiquidNazgul no longer mining at saturation on this mineral patch, transferring some of them over here, but a single Viking able to come in and get shot down by a Stalker, so a Stalker making a quick movement over there. Stalkers dealing less damage towards armored units now, and once you have those upgrades, but still getting that bonus damage versus light units and non-armored units. Taking a look back over here, Jinro pretty much nearly mined out of his main expansion. Now gonna have to start taking some additional expansions. Supply depot sitting over here, offering a little bit of sight, and now perhaps an SCV gonna go ahead and activate that Xel'Naga watchtower. Robotics facility now getting the lances, the extended thermal lance upgrades for those colossi. So now a single colossus being built. And an immortal also being built. We'll see how that is going to be worked out. We do in fact have a reactor by Jinro, so Jinro trying to mass up Vikings in order to counteract that Colossus, as those Colossus will be doing a fair amount of damage towards those Marauders. The Colossus with that 9 range, outranging those Marauders with that 6. However, Ghost with an EMP round will in fact be able to deal a significant amount of damage. So Colossus with that 22 times 2 damage, so 44 damage against all units that are on the ground. We'll see how that really works. LiquidNazgul really needs to get some additional gateways up and running in order to get those Stalkers to counteract those Vikings. Taking a look back over here, a Twilight Council now being put up, so either going to research Blink or Charge. Taking a look back over here, Probe sitting over here as we now have a pylon being warped in on this north side. And now a single probe coming in, gonna see that there is in fact a reactor on that starport, either producing Metavacs or Vikings. We happen to know that it is Vikings. Taking a look over here, Marauder gonna be coming into position, not seeing any additional units, perhaps gonna try to, no, does not see that poor probe. Taking a look at Jinro's, yeah, does not see that probe just out of range. There it is, and now in comes this Marauder. Marauder's gonna make short work of that probe. Probe gets taken down. So pylons all out throughout the map in order to be able to deploy reinforcements fairly quickly. We'll see what's going to be happening. No one taking what I call the secondary expansion over here at the 5 o'clock position and over here at the 11 o'clock position yet, but those will have to be taken sometime shortly, as these main mineral patches will be mined out in about, or start to get depleted in the next 5 to 7 minutes. Taking a look, the main base is already down to 5 mineral patch for one side and 7 mineral patches for the other. Taking a look, but SCVs activating those Xel'Naga watchtowers, and an observer going to quickly come over ahead and see that there are 2 SCVs activating 2 of those Xel'Naga watchtowers, and now in come those Stalkers. Stalkers going to try to take down some of those units, and what are we researching? Are we in fact researching Blink? So Blink versus Blink as the researched ability. Down goes that poor SCV. SCV getting taken down, made short work of as well. Perhaps going to take down this SCV as well, as observer going to be coming overhead. So still interesting race. Taking a look at the army sizes, 3350 versus 3625. LiquidNazgul definitely has more harvesters, so able to support a larger army, or sorry, more production buildings, but still only producing out of 2 robotics facility and 3 gateways, or 3 warp gates, driving this high yield mineral location as well. So we'll see how that is going to in fact do. LiquidNazgul sitting with that pylon still been there throughout the whole entire game. And we also have some Stalkers on that high ground, enabling it to shoot down any SCV that tries to activate that Xel'Naga watchtower once again. Observer coming into play. We have mass Marauders. Jinro taking a look at his army size. It is just Marauders and Vikings now. So Vikings, the dominant air-to-air unit, and Marauders, the dominant ground-to-ground unit at this stage, able to deal a fair amount of damage. Taking a look back over here, we have, what, 4 Colossus though. So those 4 Colossus perhaps will be able to make short work of those Marauders if those Vikings are focused down by those Stalkers. The Vikings do have a range of 9, so that is fairly impressive. SCV gonna run along the line of a bunch of Stalkers, quickly getting taken out, and then once again being pulled to the back. We'll see how this is really gonna work. And Probe sitting next to that SCV, no one activating that Xel'Naga watchtower. We'll see how that's really gonna work out. Vikings once again on the move. Oh, poor observer running into a scanner sweep and getting revealed by that scanner sweep in just a moment. now moving out with these Stalkers. Stalkers going to go ahead and once again rejoin this whole entire army, trying to regroup with perhaps these Vikings and these Immortals. Taking a look at this, do we have any... Yes, we do have a single Ghost. The Ghost does in fact have 200 energy. Down goes that poor Marauder though, so EMP Shockwave taking down a lot of those units, and we'll see how this is really going to work. Blinking back away. All those Immortals, however, lost a lot of their shields. Those Stalkers really need to focus down those Vikings, otherwise those Vikings are just going to finish off those Colossi. Only one Colossus, or two Colossi left. Well, now down to one, as those Stalkers are just finishing off the rest of that army. Perhaps they're going to blink and then chase down the rest of more of those units. No, not blinking to finish off those Vikings. But taking a look at the army, pretty even still. 1650 versus 2150. However, LiquidNazgul's army is made up of a predominantly more a gas-heavy army at this stage, as those Marauders only cost 25 gas each. Probes now being transferred over here to this high yield mineral location. The main expansions have been mined out or by LiquidNazgul. Jinro down to a mere 4 patches as well. We'll see how this is really all going to work out. Two of these Colossi very, very low on hit points. Now going after some of those Marauders. Vikings being trying to pull to the back, and perhaps they're going to be able to shoot down some of those Vikings. They're trying to take down those Vikings. If they're able to take down the Vikings, and Jinro is forced to say GG. So good game by LiquidNazgul, taking the Colossus and microwing those Stalkers very well in order to focus down Vikings. Vikings the counter to Colossus, and Marauders the counter to Stalkers. However, the better micro of LiquidNazgul was ultimately able to pull out ahead. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed Game 3 in this best of 3 matchup between LiquidNazgul and Jinro here from the Team Liquid Invitational.